Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court will issue a stay or block House Democrats from obtaining Trump's tax returns like 2 weeks or not even 1 week or so before November 8th. The midterms where the House and Democrat will go, the House and Senate, will go Trump Republican. What's the point? What is the point? He hasn't committed a crime. Tell me a crime that Trump has committed. Tell me one crime that Trump has committed. And if you state a certain crime that you think happened, why hasn't he been indicted? They had his tax returns since, 2 years, about a year and a half now? They have had his tax returns in New York. And so they've already had his tax returns. I don't understand what the House Oversight Committee wants to learn. House Ways and Means Committee wants to learn from Trump's taxes. What did this man do to you, Democrats? Aside from record low poverty, record highs in household median income, real wages up 1.1% in 2019, Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea, allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever. What did this man do to you that you are so obsessed with him, other than point out the criminality within the Democratic side? You have Hunter, Hillary. I want a Hillary Trump 2024. But servers with top secret intel, that's an obvious crime. You'd have to be an imbecile not to. Even James Comey on this channel, watch the short and hit subscribe. People, going into November, hit subscribe to this channel. We are like less than 700 viewers away, subs away from 200,000 subscribers. New York Times, Trump asks Supreme Court to block the House from obtaining his tax returns. Of course they're going to. I would be very surprised if the Supreme Court says, yeah, go ahead, a week before the House changes, they're going to be sworn in January. So what are they going to do? Indict Trump on the tax returns that New York already has? That they'll suddenly find out some kind of massive criminal plot with the Kremlin? The whole reason they wanted his tax returns, the reason that Maddow and MSNBC and CNN and the Washington Post and the New York Times, all of them wanted his tax returns because they thought there were some compromising situations, some compromising business activity between the country that interfered in 2016 and Trump. The Kremlin and Trump. There's compromising situations. There's compromising activity. And so that was the reason they wanted his tax returns. Hit subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. I won't have a live stream today. I will have a live stream tomorrow starting November 1st. Happy Halloween to everyone. Be safe. Whatever you do, have a beautiful, happy, awesome Halloween, but be safe. Because it's completely nuts out there in Biden's America. And again, we didn't have the soaring crime. We didn't have poverty at 15% with Trump. We didn't have 8 to 9% inflation with Trump. We didn't have possible nuclear, potential annihilation with Trump that we do now in Europe. And we have all these bad things, but at least Trump isn't tweeting. So that's the mentality. And they keep saying, Trump's a criminal. He's going to jail. For what? Does he have servers with top secret intel? Because on this channel, you could even watch on the short James Comey state that Madam Secretary committed crimes, violated legal statutes pertaining to the handling of classified data, but no reasonable prosecutor would indict. Okay. So what crime did he commit? Trump asks Supreme Court to block the House from obtaining his tax returns. The request for further delay, a long-running request by House Ways and Means Committee as the midterm looms. The House Ways and Means Committee, Democrats have done nothing other than investigate Trump and found nothing. If you investigated Hunter in the manner you investigate Trump, you'd find clear violations of the law, graft, bribery, felonies, not just kickbacks. Oh, kickbacks. And then you have one intellectual saying, Trump University was worse. How on earth is Trump University worse than foreign officials bribing American officials? How is politicians? How is that worse? How on earth does Trump University have anything to do with national security? Because if you are giving money to a Democrat and then that Democrat alters foreign policy, that's a huge, huge problem. that is directly impacting, that directly impacts national security. So this is a New York Times article. If the Supreme Court does not grant the request for an emergency stay, the appeals court would issue a so-called decision completing its ruling on Wednesday, which would free the Treasury Department to turn over the records. The Treasury Department would have already leaked the information had Trump had any criminal activity, okay? So now the question is, what did this man do? What did this man do, ladies and gentlemen, if he did not commit a crime? If Trump did not commit a crime, okay? If Trump did not commit a crime, why is it that they want to investigate him? They want to investigate him because they actually committed crimes. Democrats actually committed crimes, okay? They cover up their crimes by investigating Trump and everyone around Trump, and then they say, look at the people we indicted. Well, yeah, you used the United States government against your political opponents. When Trump wanted to investigate Biden did commit crimes. He did force out a prosecutor with money going to Hunter, influencing that decision. How on earth can you not make that up? Like when Democrats say, oh, it's conspiratorial, there's money flow, and there's a decision made that correlates directly to the money flow. Just like when Madam Secretary had preferential treatment, Bill and Hillary, when you had governments or billionaires or people giving money. Uranium One is an example. 20%, at one point, 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, according to the New York Times, was sold eventually to the Kremlin. This is according to the New York Times. Snopes even said, yes, President Obama could have vetoed the sale, but he chose not to. That was Snopes, the Bible of Democrats. So, I mean, how is that okay? How on earth is that okay? But a Steele dossier that they purchase creates all this suspicion. I mean, all of this is about suspicion and doubt. The Supreme Court is not going to go to bat for Democrats as they're on their way out without a crime that Trump has committed. If you're a House Democrat, you want anything pertaining to Trump, you have to prove a crime. They still haven't indicted Trump. They said they were going to indict Trump on mishandling of classified data. Now, they might very well indict Trump when they indict Hunter. Ted Cruz might be right about that. But they're only going to do so because they actually committed more crimes, or they actually committed crimes, whereas Trump did not, and they have to even the scale somehow because they're so desperate, because the Democratic Party brand is basically the manure or the fertilizer that's now exponentially more expensive in Biden's America. If you are a Democrat in this day and age, and you enjoy inflation, you enjoy crime, you enjoy a recession, that we only had a GDP up because of arms sales and oil exports from the 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves that mashed potato brains released. If you are a Democrat in this day and age, you are definitely you are definitely going to vote Democrat no matter what, forever. You lack independent thought, critical thinking skills. If you think that Trump is the embodiment of all criminality, that DeSantis is such a horrible human being, it's like they don't even report the accurate news. 15 weeks is not a total ban. I'm not even going to get into it. But see, again, like you will hear only lies and only deceit when it comes to Democrats towards Trump. They make huge, grandiose leaps of logic. You'll see that with the right against the left. You'll see that also with the Republicans against Democrats. But the leaps of logic are not that the leaps are not that, grandiose, and you're not going to have a dossier purchased by Rudy Giuliani or anybody associated with Trump filtered through the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Like, institutions believe the lies that are said about Trump and then investigate Trump. The reverse isn't true. The actual truth about Hunter is suppressed by Twitter up until recently. So you have an entire public relations monstrosity that's caving. You won't have Twitter. The Supreme Court will go to bat for Trump. I don't think that I would be very surprised and shocked to see them cave to Democrats without even a crime. Like, Democrats want Trump's tax returns in the House, but they haven't even listed a crime. And they say, oh, it's oversight. Oversight pertaining to what? He didn't commit a crime, and you've had his tax returns in New York. And they still didn't charge him criminally. And you have graft and bribery with Hunter and Joe, and that graft goes right to the presidency. Mashed potato brains in the Oval Office. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe. Be here tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. November, I'm going to start working a lot harder. H.A. Goodman's other channel, Stock Market Crash channel, live streams. We're going to go all out. And, of course, I'll abide by YouTube policies and all that. But it's going to be fun, awesome, informative, entertaining. You're going to love it. It'll be an even better H.A. Goodman than usual. Give me your thoughts.